Hey everyone, my name's Heather Gray. I'm over at choosetohaveitall.com where I work with people on building the professional and personal lives of their dreams. I wasn't planning on going live today, but I've been a little bit inspired by a couple of comments that I've been hearing, both with clients that I've been talking to today, as well as things that I'm seeing in my Facebook news feed. So I just thought I'd jump in and offer a quick point of view on something. So one of the things that I'm hearing a lot from people today is this idea that they're not taking action on the things that they know that will make them happier, the things that they've said they've wanted for themselves, either in their personal lives or in their professional lives, because they keep listening to the hater in their head. So they're listening to the person, the voice in their head that's doubting themselves, the person that's second guessing, the voice that's saying why other people are doing this. It's just, in the entrepreneurial space that we're in, for those of you who own your own business, you might know it as imposter syndrome. I used to be a shrink, so I call it self-esteem. And it comes down to this core question that people have in moments of change, in moments of risk, when they're putting themselves out there and they start to get fearful and they start to doubt themselves. They have an attack of doubts, of second guessing themselves, of talking themselves out of the dream they want or the life they want to have. They just come up with a shit ton of excuses, and you can call it imposter syndrome, you can call it self-esteem, but at the end of the day, it's this inability to take action on your life because you don't think you're good enough. And it's questioning your own worth, your own value, and what you have to offer other people. Now, here's the thing. One of the things that I say to people around this idea is that, first of all, there's only one you. And everybody says that, right? That's like the universal coach response to why should I do it when there's already 5 million other people who are doing it. And you'll often hear people say, but nobody does it the exact way you do it. And that's true. It's absolutely true. But me sitting here telling you while you're in your car or listening to this, or at your desk listening to this, or on your couch listening to this, I can't get you to believe that simply because I said it. And you don't come to believe that simply because you're sitting still thinking about it and thinking it's such a great, idea. It's not about rainbows and unicorns and sunshine up your behind. It's about doing the work that shows you, and proves to yourself that you're ready for success, that you're worthy of happiness, and that you absolutely can have it all so long as you're willing to choose it. The reality is that just yesterday, I was on Amazon and I was looking for a French press because I've decided that I want to move away from drip coffee and I'm ready to enter the big leagues and get myself a French press. And if you do an Amazon search for French presses, you are going to find 50 million different French presses, all with really good reviews. And if you look at the reviews, people like them for different reasons. There's some like the size, some like the decor and the fact that it matches their kitchen. Other people like that it cleans efficiently. Some people like it for price. There's a lot of different criteria that go for one simple product that if we just had only one, we'd probably all learn how to suck it up and use to the best of its efficiency. However, when we're out there looking for something, we want what we specifically want. And so I think that one of the answers to but everybody's doing it, you're looking at that with the wrong lens. It's more about what do you have to offer? What's the knowledge you're holding inside of yourself that you already know? And it's not about just wishing yourself into self-confidence. It's not about suddenly believing yourself into it. It's about actually looking at what you really do know. So when you can talk back to the hater in your head, when you can sort of say, but everybody's doing it, or you've already been successful doing something else, why do you need to try something new? You can answer it with the specific measurable things that you've accomplished for yourself. So for example, when I had a full private practice and I moved into the online space, there was no sensical, observable, measurable reason to make that shift. My brick and mortar was perfectly fine. I was successful at it, except for one thing. I wasn't happy. I was really unhappy. I felt unfulfilled. I felt like I wasn't living up to my potential. I felt like I was playing small. There were a whole host of other reasons why it just didn't work, even though on paper I probably, to many people, didn't need to make a change, because I had something different to offer, just like the French press. But I'm offering a coaching service around mindset, around believing in yourself, and living a full life that if you go on a little search, you're not even going to find me in the first 10 pages of Google if you were to Google that. The reality is, though, is I don't care, because my belief and my story about myself is that I'm offering something that somebody out there needs, and it's selfish of me not to help that person just because I think there's 10 other people out there who might be able to do it better. That I don't get to make that decision for that person. That's on them to make for themselves. Who am I to tell somebody what they want, don't want, need, or don't need? That's how you get out of that conversation. That's how you talk back to imposter syndrome. You don't just believe in yourself. You actually look at the information, question it, talk back, and then tune into your capability and remind yourself of what you've done so far. And the reality is that you don't need a specific, measurable, observable reason to make a change. You simply need a reason, something that's important to you, something that matters to you, something that you give a shit about, that you're willing to fight for. Because the reality is that if you're not willing to fight for yourself, then you probably shouldn't show up for whatever new dream you're having, because if you're not willing to invest in yourself, if you're not willing to go to battle for yourself, then nobody in your personal or professional life is going to be willing to give that back to you. That's the unfortunate reality. And I think that's something that not a lot of coaches tell you out loud, but I'm not afraid to speak the hard truth sometimes. And the reality is that if you are in a struggle with wanting a life that's bigger and better than the life that you're sitting in, even if the life you're sitting in is perfectly fine, that is reason enough to make a change. And listening to the hater in your head isn't a reason to stop. It's simply an excuse. The reality is that you need a set of tools to manage the fears and the anxiety and the worries and the second guessing that comes with entrepreneurship, or that comes with your dream or your tough relationship that you want to manage. And that's what you want to bulk up on, because you know that believing in yourself isn't reason enough to make a change, isn't going to help you feel better about yourself. You need the skills and the tools. So it's on you to kind of figure out what you're missing out on, what you need more of, and go ahead and ask for it. The reason, the reality is we are 100% responsible for our own happiness. And if we don't make the choices to make our lives happier, that's on us. And we can't lean back and say, well, I just didn't believe in myself enough. And I just, I knew that other people could do it better. And I just, I thought I deserved, I owed it to them to have their life. Like that, just, it's nonsense. But I think that unless we tune into our capability, unless we learn how to answer to the hater in our head, we're constantly dialing back. We're constantly excuse making, and we're constantly stuck, and we're not taking forward action. The key to getting rid of imposter syndrome is to talk back to it, to recognize that imposter syndrome, anxiety, second guessing, self-esteem, whatever you want to call it, is a biological, natural response to change. Our bodies are hardwired biologically to have a worry and a response to fear. That's just normal, and it's not a reason not to keep moving forward. But you have to talk to the fear, and you have to say, listen, I know that I'm taking a scary chance. I know I might fall on my face. I know I'm taking a risk here, but I've got this, and I'm okay. And you good looking out, but I'm good now. And then you move forward. And I think a lot of times people make the mistake of believing that they don't need to make a change until they feel ready to make the change, that they have to work on their self-esteem and their confidence before they can take that risk. And the reality is it simply does not work that way. If you are waiting to feel ready, you're never going to pull the trigger. It just doesn't work. The way we get confident, the way we tune into ourselves and realize that we deserve to be here, that we get to show up, and that we can live big, is by showing up, being afraid, but doing it anyway. The fear, the second guessing, the anxiety, the imposter syndrome, whatever you call it, is not a reason to stop. You do it anyway. Once you get to the other side of the thing that you're afraid of, once you've taken the chance or taken the risk, then you're able to see what you're capable of. Then you can tune into your abilities. That's when the confidence happens. That's when you find your self-esteem. And that's how you get into the right mindset. But if you're waiting to sit in a chair and believe in yourself, you're going to be in this same place next week, next month, next year, next 2 years. It's on you to decide when you're going to press go, and I strongly encourage you to press go today. If I can help you with that, if you want to learn what live coaching would be like working one-on-one with me, let me know in the comments by just saying contact me, and I'll reach out to you one-on-one, probably in a private message, and we'll book a discovery call. It's free of charge. You can learn about me, how I can help. I can learn more about your situation, see if we're a right fit, and we can get going together on building the life that you want. It's just not going to happen if you're sitting waiting to believe in yourself as you scroll through your Facebook newsfeed. If you'd like more information, you can also find me at the Choose to Have It All community group on Facebook too. Thanks so much. I hope you find this helpful, and I hope you have a great day. Start kicking ass. You're ready for it. Take care. Bye-bye.